The family sets off on an outdoor adventure, overcoming a nail bridge. Dad lights the way with a lamp, and next is her handmade elevator. Handteth low I plus or minus, I gofaiso complexiomerti q grov e l e v e n legurgidisi copyright. Through board gaps, they reach the human kitchen. It's Ellie's first try borrowing from humans. The huge space astounds her. Dad uses a hook and rope to descend, then dashes under the cabinet. He pulls out sticky tape to stick on his hands and feet and climbs up with all his might, finally retrieving a sugar cube from the jar. And just this tiny sugar cube will last them a whole year. They keep moving along the wall's gap, and halfway through, Ellie spots a big sewing pin. Hound umlaut ed letter, risi circumflex umlaut, 3 umlaut, enters letter to be cyrillic letter 4 ribi so umlaut, case sedil ariumla, Armenian around a pan sign turned direct reflex a quarter w agoviumlaut, io times umlaut, elsedil acute, strip 3 umlaut pan copyright. Just take the tissue, and they'll finish tonight's boring mission. Ellie's thrilled, but then, caught by Xiao Zhang in her bedroom, Ellie drops her candy accidentally, though Xiao Zhang stays silent. Xiao Zhang talks to herself, saying her mum once saw tiny folk here when she was little, and Ellie feels a pang in her heart. Xiao Zhang seems a bit down, thinking she never had many friends growing up, and just wants to chat with Ellie. On the way back, Ellie feels immense guilt, but her father doesn't scold her. Instead, he offers her a warm hug. Arriving home empty-handed, Mum smartly figures out what happened and doesn't blame her daughter either. This only adds to Ellie's sadness, tossing and turning all night. The next day, she sits outside anxiously. She sees a figure passing by, leaving a note and a sugar cube at the vent. After the figure leaves, Ellie cautiously checks and finds out it was last night's Xiao Zhang who sent the sugar. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhang is gently chatting with her cat, and the strong sense of loneliness takes over her face. She longs to be friends with Ellie. Ellie picks up the sugar cube, wanting to open the note, but she holds back. She doesn't want to involve her family in trouble because of herself. So after returning home, she informs her parents that she has decided to stop borrowing things. Her usually timid mother is very worried, even contemplating moving, which only adds to Ellie's guilt. Finally, Ellie sees that sugar cube has been taken over by ants. She shoos the ants away and can't resist opening them. The note says, "This is what you forgot to take." Xiao Zhang's kindness doesn't touch Ellie. She refuses any charity. Times well, she didn't want human charity to affect her life, so she returned the sugar and left quietly after dressing. Climbing to the second floor, she sees unseen sights, overcoming small obstacles. Finally, she climbs to Xiao Zhang's window, tosses in the leftover sugar cube, and is called out by Xiao Zhang as she turns to leave. Xiao Zhang envies Ellie for having parents around, sharing that her own parents have long since divorced, and her mum works abroad, stricken with the serious illness. She has been alone all her life, yearning for friendship in her heart. Xiao Zhang's story stirs sympathy in Ellie, and then she asks to see Ellie. Ellie immediately declines, but when Xiao Zhang keeps asking, she softens. Just then, a mischievous crow suddenly swoops in. The crow quickly wrestles with Ellie. As it struggles more, it's about to throw her. Xiao Zhang rushes in. Xiao Zhang shields Ellie, and she begins to change her views about humans as the loud commotion draws the only villain, a Chun. A Chun violently hits the crow out the window. Puzzled by the attack, she leaves coolly, distracted by Xiao Zhang. When Xiao Zhang checks her palm, she finds Ellie has quietly slipped away. Even though she saved Ellie, Ellie is still too worried to interact much with humans. On her way home, she runs into her father, who is searching for her. Ellie meant to solve this trouble, but inadvertently pushes her family into danger. Now, even Dad starts considering moving, saying it's no longer safe here. Mom feels reluctant to leave, but both kids don't want to go. Ellie lies in bed, holding the note and lost in thought, pondering this for the whole night. Grandma is very worried about Xiao Zhang's health, telling Chum firmly to chase away the crows and mice nearby. Since Xiao Zhang is scheduled for heart surgery next week, being scared could have disastrous effects. However, Xiao Zhang says those little animals are so cute, hard to resist. Xiao Zhang's kindness reminds Grandma of her daughter. She tells Xiao Zhang that her hen loved little trinkets when she was young too. Grandma shares family legends about tiny folk and made them a tiny house, hoping to one day gift it to them. After that, Grandma takes Xiao Zhang to the tiny house. Though small, it has everything a living room, study, and bathroom. The kitchen is adorned with exquisite decor, and even the mini oven works perfectly. How delightful. Next day, Theo's Yang places flowers and a note at the vent, hoping to invite Ellie to meet up. But after waiting a long time without Ellie showing up, she finally gives in to the heavy rain and retreats to her room. Meanwhile, Ellie's dad accidentally gets hurt while searching for a new place. Talk about an awkward moment. Suddenly, a tiny folk named Spiller appears before him. The moment he sees Ellie, he's utterly captive. Spiller worries if they are the last of the tiny folk, but reassures him that there are others living in different places. Hearing this, their determination to move grows stronger. Ellie tries to borrow Spiller's bow but can't seem to pull it back. Spiller easily draws the bow back, forming a stark contrast between the two, especially when he wants Ellie to share a meal but pulls out a tiny bent leg. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.